And we're back to our regularly scheduled record highs for stocks. The rally is being driven mostly by tech and semiconductors, but the participation is actually quite broad. We will look at a recent trade that was sent out to my subscribers for DigitalOcean company. Congratulations, the gain is pretty significant. Stay tuned, I will explain how this trade came to be and how you can also participate in the similar trades. We will also look at dollar and gold relationship, which is very uncertain at this moment. You see uncertainty undecided. So gold is stuck between a bull and bear market, and gold is really not going anywhere until the dollar decides which way we're going. We will look at crude oil, which has landed on support after a relatively bad week for oil, and by viewers' request we will look at quickly at some of the secondary currencies we don't normally trade, such as South African rand, Hungarian Forint, and Polish Zloty. All this and more in today's edition of MasterChartsTrading.com market recap for Friday, May 8th, 2026. May 8th coincidentally is also the date of the end of World War II, so it's a big date. I used to do actually separate videos about World War II, but I haven't been doing that in a while. But if you have any relatives that fought or participated in World War II, make sure you remember them. And if you are not yet a subscriber, stay tuned. We will be covering a lot of stocks in the members only video, namely market breadth is going to be covered in the members only video, various ETFs, large cap stocks, as well as several of the speculative securities, so stay tuned. Don't forget to hit the like button, put a like in the comment section, share this video. This is what keeps this channel going. Thank you again for all the comments, and I've been trying to answer all the questions. All the today's charts are going to be covered with my Master Charts Trading price action indicators, which you can see on this chart, this green, blue, red, and yellow lines. You can find out more about this by going to the link in the description and following it to Master Charts Trading, where you can sign up for the same indicators to be displayed on your chart. Actually very easy, just send me a message or just sign up. S&P 500 is currently at record highs despite all the crazy news that we've been hearing that's coming out of Middle East as well as Ukraine. Things are strange, weird, uncomfortable. The other day I watched a video about a potential World War III, and there is a lot of interesting scenarios which I'm not sure are relevant to this video, but they are all very scary. So hopefully you are prepared for whatever comes your way. Make sure you have enough supplies to last you a few days at least. Have a plan of how you're gonna communicate with your people that you care about, etc. So all right, let's get to our stocks. So S&P 500 is currently at records. It closed at records, it made a high and it closed at records. So by and large there is, it's obviously a bullish chart, very resilient. We have still this gap here between 7th and 8th of April that has not been filled. There is also a tiny gap here around 16th and 17th of April. Now there is another gap right there between 5th and 6th of April. Of May. So lots of gaps, a gap up specifically. Showing that there is a lot of price pressure, long or bulls, people who think the stock market will go up, are pushing the prices higher, and so far the bears really couldn't make a stand at all. So for now we're looking at stocks continuously going higher. No way to tell how high they will go. We can look at weekly charts. and my previous estimates actually they probably came to be already. So the depth of this pattern, notice this, I'm gonna draw it out. So this V-shaped from the high in February 2025 until low in April 2025 until the breakout in like May, probably let's say June 2025. So that's a V-shaped reversal, and the depth of that pattern is around 27%. So if we measure the same amount of distance, we basically just we're pretty much there. So we have reached my original target, which was around 7,500. We're at 7,400 or so. So this pattern that played out last year is coming to fruition, more or less. Now, where are we going to go from there is anybody's guess. Right now, we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green wicks. So 6 green candlesticks in a row. For 6 weeks, the price has been appreciating. Certainly, we're overextended, but we're clearly in a bull market, and in a bull market, overbought is a normal condition. World markets are also moving to records. So here's Japanese market, for example. Japan just hit an all-time high. Seems like Japan is ahead of the curve. Australia is approaching records. Europe is very close to records as well. And Hong Kong is also at records. So we are seeing worldwide rally continue. As far as the market driving forces, so we're currently looking at NASDAQ QQQ. So QQQ, I mean, they're very similar to S&P 500, but NASDAQ QQQ usually outperforms S&P 500. Albeit it's a less diversified ETF. So back here in May of 2025, I sent several alerts to my subscribers, and I personally bought NASDAQ QQQ back in May of 2025. I sold half of my position, around September of last year. Probably should have kept it. But actually I sold it really well, because notice that between September 2025 and like just very recently, April of this year, so almost more than half a year, we pretty much traded sideways, and only just recently we broke out into a new record highs. So I'm still open. I still have half my position open. My stop is currently at this blue support resistance line. So notice that it's just curving up as the stock price goes up as well. So right now I'm at the blue support resistance line at the stop, and the position is up 46% since I bought it back in May of last year, so about a year ago. So very, very strong rally. Some can say that this might be from the inflationary expectations. Entirely possible. It's difficult to say. But stocks historically have been a good inflation hedge. So I'm still open for QQQ, but what I wanted to illustrate here is the fact that the market is being driven very strongly by technology. QQQ, here is XLK, technology sector, so Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, all of those stocks are going to records. SMH, semiconductors, so also very, very strong rally, just hit all-time highs. And notice here that also alerts were sent back in May, June of last year for a very, very strong profit of 136%. Just enormous, move since last May when the alerts were sent, and congratulations again to subscribers. Now I want to take a little bit of time to look at a stock that we recently traded. This is DigitalOcean, ticker symbol DOCN. It's a I believe they provide hardware for data centers of something of that nature. I'm not 100%. But, you know, looking at it from this point of view, everything looks very crystal clear, because look, we bought and closed above the blue line, and another alert was sent, you know, later on, and then we just took off. So from this point of view, looks great, right? But what if we're in the middle of it and we don't really know what's going on yet? You know, we don't really see it, the entire picture. So this is what I saw back in like August, September of 2025. So this is the chart I saw, basically. So what am I seeing here? Number one, this is a 52-week lows right here where I'm hovering around April 2025. And at that point, notice we closed below the yellow support resistance line, and that implies a bear market. We don't want to be buying this thing. We might want to be selling it, or selling it short, if we are sophisticated enough. But generally speaking, during a bull market, you probably don't want to be selling short too many stocks in general. So we did nothing. We just were kind of, you know, it came up on my scan, and then I was just looking at it. Okay, great. So here in September 2025, nothing has really changed yet. As we continue forward, we see that the price has been coming up towards this blue support resistance line, and finally right there where I'm hovering on 9th of October of last year, that's when the stock closed above the blue support resistance line. Okay, you can find out more about these lines by going to the link in the description, MasterChartsTrading.com. Okay, great. So this is basically all we needed to know. Once we close above the blue support resistance line, while previously we were below the yellow line, so clearly in a bear market, and now we are breaking out. So this is a breakout type of trade. We closed above the blue line, we buy, we sit in the position. Another opportunity to buy was back in November of 2025, and basically we're just, at that point, we just want to be sitting in a position, doing absolutely nothing. Notice what happened, 320% gain for DigitalOcean. Big congratulations. So if you haven't yet again signed up, sign up at MasterChartsTrading.com. Okay, let's switch gears. We're currently looking at dollar currency index, DXY. Technically speaking, we did break out into a new uptrend where I'm hovering. So I just showed you a similar picture with DigitalOcean. So I'm going to assume the same thing here. We broke out into a new uptrend here on March 30th. And at this point, we are thinking about buying the dollar. This is US dollar. But a few days later, notice what happened. We came down. We almost broke below this red support resistance line. We touched it on 5 different occasions, actually. And then another time right there where I'm hovering on 1st of May as well. And so right now we're seeing this move for the lines and for the price. Notice that the price is basically stuck right between the red support resistance line and the blue. And the red line is representative of the bear market, and blue is the bull market. So any move really up or down will pretty much seal the fate of the US dollar. If the move is up and we close above the blue line, it would imply a reaffirmation of the bull market, and most likely the dollar will continue higher. Vice versa, if we close below the red line, which is also extremely close, we can say that the dollar will be in a downtrend and it will continue most likely lower. What does that mean for gold? Gold is indeed traded in US dollars. So notice here, gold divided by US dollar. So if the US dollar is getting bigger, it will pull the currency pair in lower. If this lower part of this equation, US dollar getting smaller, then the gold will pull it up, okay? Because gold will remain constant, but the bottom part of the equation got smaller, so the currency pair will move up. So basically we're waiting for whichever way the dollar will break, and then that's the direction we want to trade gold. At this point, I don't know. We're seeing several buy signals for gold, but as I just said, if the dollar decides to continue higher, then gold will most likely come under pressure. So we're waiting for which way the dollar will break. Euro currently is basically the reason why we're not sure which way the dollar will break, because it seems like it wants to go higher, but it's also extremely close to a bear market. This is how far we are between blue and red lines, super close. At 1.175 is bull, at 1.153 is bear. That's how close we are. All right, briefly let's look at oil. Crude oil, been in the news obviously lately. Things are not gonna go back to whatever we had here, $60, $50 oil. I don't think, unless something drastic happens in the Middle East, or better yet, we discover a new energy source, which would be ideal. For now, on this chart, so there was no new highs yet. Okay, we can look at UK oil as well, at Brent. So the same thing, there was the high right there on the 9th of March, lower high on 19th of March, and yet another lower high on the 4th of May. So it's the same thing with United States oil as well, US oil. We have kind of lower highs basically at this point. And what we're seeing right now is we're seeing oil kind of test this blue support resistance line. It pierced it several times already, but so far it's kind of holding on. So technically speaking, we do have a buy signal right now. But this buy signal, I'm not sure about, because it's a red candle and just the shape of this candles, they don't look too good to me. I'm not sure I want to be buying it. So I think there's a good chance we're going to retest this. See how it happened here on the 17th of April. We retested the red support resistance line. So I think we might be doing the same thing sometime in the not so distant future. So maybe we retest the $79 area. All right, and by viewers' request, we're looking at several stocks that are of interest, or rather several currency pairs that are of interest, and this is USD ZAR, also known as South African Rand. Okay, so looking at this chart, this currency pair is currently in a downtrend in favor of South African Rand. So if I was trading it, and I don't, I would have been selling it on multiple occasions. I'm going to show you where I would be selling it. So for example, back in May of 25, then again what happens is it comes below the red line and then bounces, and so we want to be selling it around the red line. And so again, we can sell it. We could have sold it around June of 25, yet again around August of 25, and recently also there was an opportunity to sell it short, like right there, for example, around April of this year, and yet again just recently, a few days ago. And you would have been successful by that. This would have been a successful trade already. If you sold it on the 30th of April, then you would have taken profits somewhere around if you sold it on the 30th of April, then you would have taken profits around 6th or 7th of May. Okay, this is South African Rand, so in favor of Rand. Okay, this is Hungarian Forint, and the ticker symbol for that is USD HUF. Okay, same thing. It's also in favor of Hungarian forint right now. So no, I would also be selling this currency pair. So for example, I would have sold it back in March of last year, and then again in April of last year, and then yet again in March of this year. and then possibly again in April of this year. You would have been very successful, by the way. This is a very nice move in your favor. All of these 4 trades would have been successful. Finally, we're currently looking at USD PLN, also known as Polish Zloty. Okay, you can pretty much see what I'm showing you. I think at this point it's the same general principle. If the stock, if a Forex instrument closed below the red line, you want to be selling it. Okay, so you would have sold it, let's say, like in February of last year. So, by the way, that's a good example right there to understand how to trade. So let's say you sold it right there where I'm hovering on 25th of February 2025. You would have put your stop on close above the blue line. So notice that we have not closed above the blue line here on 28th of February, so you would have not been stopped out, and in fact, if you just held on for another day or two, you would have been in profit. Okay, so you would have sold it possibly again here on 4th of March, and then again on 8th of April 2025, and then one more time or several more times possibly. For example, okay, so here's an interesting thing for the Zloty. So definitely you would have sold it right there where I'm hovering on the 13th of April, and possibly, and that's it actually, because there were no closes below the red line. But the interesting part that we had here on Zloty is that we actually had a fake out. We had a fake incorrect signal right there on 30th of March. So occasionally you will get, you know, a incorrect signal, but hopefully, like, let's say you actually did sell it here on April 7th and you held on all the way. That would have been a huge gain in your favor. So definitely there is a way to trade Forex as well. That's it for this week's recap. Head over to MasterChartsTrading.com, click on sign up for one of the products. So again, if you need these indicators, this green, blue, red and yellow lines, head over to MasterChartsTrading.com, click on sign up for one of the products. So this is a trading indicators. They are available for TradingView.com. This is a free TradingView.com interface. Sign up for free for trade on TradingView.com. Come back to my site, Master Charts Trading. Sign up for one of the plans. I have yearly and monthly plans. So monthly plans are slightly more expensive. Yearly plans, you get 2 months off. If you sign up for a year, all plans get free 7-day trials. You can try it out. Trading indicators. This lines on the chart available for TradingView.com. Newsletter, I send out daily alerts and weekly members only videos. For example, this was one of the alerts, DigitalOcean, that was sent out in November of last year for a 320% gain. It was sent at $44. It is currently over $160. Big congratulations. This is the newsletter. And the best deal, of course, is to get both trading indicators and newsletters, so you can trade on your own and hear what I have to say. That's $49.95 per month equivalent if you sign up for a year, or $59.95 per month if you sign up for monthly. That's it for this week's recap. Again, don't forget to hit the like button. Please hit the put a smiley face or a thumbs up in the comment section. Share this video. Thank you for watching. Have another great trading week. Bye-bye.